Hi team, I am unpacking from the Manaslu Circuit. I landed today, and if it looks like I haven't slept all night, it's because I haven't. But I need to unpack today because I'm repacking to go on a trip tomorrow. I have to pack up my bags and my van. So before I get to sleep, I'm committing to unpacking this bag, and I always find unpacking videos a lot more helpful than packing videos because you've actually got the hindsight to know what worked, what didn't, rather than when you're just packing your bag for a trip, you're kind of chucking everything in and showing it, oh, I hope this works. But I like unpacking videos, so that's what I'm going to do today. And it's going to be a bit of a stream of consciousness, so chuck it on in the background if you're doing something, and hopefully you like it. So I'm going to start pulling things out in semi-logical order. So first of all, this is empty at the moment. This was my main backpack. This is the only thing that I took over with me that had all of my stuff in it. This was my day pack for hiking. This is the MacPack. This is the MacPack Hesper. I have a first impressions of this bag actually on the channel if you want to go watch it. But as a second, third, fourth, and fifth impression, I loved it. I really liked it on this trip. It was perfect and it's so lightweight. So, cracking into the bag, I bought this in Nepal at the shops, this North Face bag. Love it. Big fan. So, top pocket, we've got hats, caps, must have. Very hot during the day, surprisingly. So I'm so glad I had a cap. This one stayed in my bag. I wore this one. Tourist hat. And in Nepal, you can actually get custom embroidery quite frequently, or like commonly. So I got Manaslu Circuit Trek 2024 after I had finished. This is the hat that I had in all my videos, as you would have seen, was part of my hiking uniform. Those are going away. First aid kit here. Thankfully didn't have to use most of it. All of my strapping tape is pretty much gone. I used the scissors to cut up my strapping tape. I used plasters, and I used a little bit of Nurofen as well. Oh, and blister plasters from Wool Aid. Ride or die, love those. First aid kit, that's going back in my hiking bag. Headlight, I gotta find the batteries for those. Pass for now. Notebook, trip log. Right, clothing. This is one of my MacPack down jackets. Wore it in the evenings. Was super warm. Big fan. My other down jacket. This was like my hiking down jacket. I often wore it in the mornings and then got quickly too hot and took it off. Great lightweight down jacket. Big fan. Let's talk shorts. I never wore these. I could have put these on comfortably for the first 3 days at least. Every day I woke up and I was like, today's going to be too cold for shorts. And then the next day I was like, today's going to be too cold for shorts. And I did that for 3 or 4 days in a row, and I never wore my shorts, and I was really hot. So would have been a big fan of those if I had worn them. Anything else of interest in here? I took flowy short sleeve shirt, never wore it. Short sleeve shirt, never wore it. It was cold. It was December and it was cold. Again, skirt, shorts, never wore it. So those are pretty much going straight back in my bag, nice and clean for the trip tomorrow. Because now it's summer in New Zealand. Fleece, this is from Mountain Warehouse. Nice affordable fleece. Brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I hiked in this every single day. I could have done with another one, honestly, a clean one to put on at camp or to sleep in. That would have done me pretty good. Clothes are so personal. So as long as you've got a good layering system, like don't pay too much attention, ride or die for what I took. This is also some of the stuff that I already had. My mum made this for me. This is a crochet balaclava. She made it. I wore this when it got cold as well. Like, loved it. Big fan. Big down mittens. I didn't wear these. I borrowed these and I'm going to need to give them back. So let's put those in their own pile down there. Merino neck buff. Beanie. Sealskins gloves. These are the only gloves I wore. I wore them on past day. They were amazing. They're windproof. Warehouse sweatpants. I wore these every single night and I love them. Warehouse sweatpants. I almost didn't pack these. These were like a last addition to my bag, and man, they performed. We had trackies. These are what I wore on past day, along with some fleece-lined Stony Creek tights. I was cozy. Those need to be washed. Rain pants, rain jacket. Didn't need them. Also would have been great for wind as well if it was super windy. 2 thermals, one for sleeping, one for hiking on past day. Long sleeve Cotopaxi hiking shirt that I never wore, but I actually do wish that I did. I wore the same 1 or 2 shirts the whole time. Clean pile. And this is my New Zealand flag that I took photos with at the very top. So I'm going to keep that in my travel bag, and hopefully I have another reason to bust that out on a high pass in the future. Sunglasses. Wore these on past day. Pretty much only wore sunglasses on past day because the sun was to our back the whole time. But these shifty little Shimano sunnies worked a damn treat. Those are also borrowed, so I am going to put those back in the give back pile. This is another jacket. Fantastic windbreaker jacket. So I am glad I had that. I honestly didn't wear it that much, but me. Right, now we've got like the nitty gritty things that are, oh wait, Macpac hiking pants. Sorry, wore these every single day. Also, took them off when it got too hot, but big fan. Shoes. Where are my shoes? My shoes are in their little goldfish bags because they had to get shoe dipped by New Zealand Customs and I need to wash them. So we had my hiking boots, my Salomon hiking boots. I don't know what to say. Nothing against them. These are my usual hiking boots that are worn and broken in for my feet. For some reason, they were causing my right Achilles so much pain. I don't know what it was, the angle of the hill or whatever, that I was trying to hold myself together. And eventually we got to Samdo and I saw a tea house shop and they had some shoes in it. And I was like, what if I just try these ones on? I tried them on. They're a size too big for me. I bought them for about $40 New Zealand and I wore them for the whole rest of the trek, plus a week back in Kathmandu. And I wore them over the pass and they were totally fine and comfortable. So those are my 2 shoes. Nothing against my Salomon hiking boots. I honestly need to dissect what happened there. Pack liner. Heavy duty one from Macpac. I had this in my bag the whole time. I mean, I didn't need it. We had absolutely stunning weather and it is dry season in Nepal in December. But I guess old habits die hard from rainy New Zealand, so glad I had it regardless. Kind of a similar story with the, I'm pretty sure 3, might find another one, dry bags. Just had them. What else have we got here? Toiletries. That is a personal thing. I mean, take what you want. What's this? This is my sleeping bag liner. Big fan of this. It was so nice to have in my sleeping bag. And I do think it keeps me a little bit warmer than if I didn't have it. So I need to wash that. That is going in the washing pile. In terms of gear, I borrowed from my guide, or like that was included in my guiding fee, which therefore is not in this bag, is -20 down sleeping bag. Picked that up when I was over there. The big down jacket that I wore on past day. That was the only time I wore that jacket. It was super nice and heavy duty. Trekking poles, I only use those for a couple hours on the morning of the pass. I don't usually trek with them, and I'm just a bit uncoordinated with them, so I put them away before we even got to the pass because it wasn't really worth it for me. But they were in my bag the whole time, so I had them if I needed them. Spikes for my shoes, in case we got into any serious ice. Didn't use them, good to have. And gaiters. I had those on for the morning of pass day, as you would have seen. But I mainly had them on for the wind because when we were in Dharamsala that night, we could hear it like whipping outside and I was thinking, oh my god, this is about to be so windy. So I mainly put them on just for wind protection to keep a little bit warmer, and then took them off again before the pass. Didn't need them. We had absolutely stunning weather and we're so lucky, genuinely. Stuffable pillow. This one is from Rumpel. Didn't need it at all because there were pillows and blankets in the entire way. So I wouldn't take that again. But I mean, travel towel. Have you seen the drama about the travel towel? I started hacking into it during the hike because I needed some padding for my feet and other things. I needed like wipes with just water on them instead of like baby wipes because I just had some like cuts that I didn't want baby wipes getting into. So this unfortunately stinks and it's like damp. I need to wash it, but because it's going to fall apart. So that's going to have to actually go in the bin. Again, MacPack, hit me up. How much MacPack stuff have I pulled out of this bag? Keeping that for a new towel. Collapsible backpack. Perfect for carry-on, airline baggage, and walks around after you finish your hike. If you're not planning on using your day pack as a pack afterwards, blah, blah, blah. Stuffable backpack. Synthetic down booties from MacPack. These were so comfortable. The only other footwear I had besides hiking footwear was my Columbia sandals. Let me find those. So these were like my hut sandals, and I don't think I wore these without shoes the entire time. Even around Kathmandu and Pukera, I was in socks and sandals. Great for weight, in terms of not carrying a pair of trainers. Pick your poison. If you want to rock socks and sandals, totally fine. Everyone's doing it. Everyone in Kathmandu and Tamil are dressed like trekkers, so these were great, genuinely. My leftover electrolytes. My leftover Cliff Bars. We've got 2. Those can go back in my hiking box. And toe warmers. I was so paranoid about being too cold. I was so afraid of just lying in my sleeping bag and being cold that I took toe warmers. I didn't use them at all. I was so warm most nights that I was throwing blankets on myself. Emergency bivvy. You take this planning not to use it. So even though I didn't use it, sure, glad I had it. I take that all the time with me when I'm hiking as well. This was my water filtration. So I have this Sawyer Mini water filter, and I took this Platypus soft flask as well. I did a mix of filtering water and buying water. Up at the higher elevations like Domicila, there was not an opportunity to buy water that I saw. It's glacial water, so we just got it out the pipe, filtered it. Froze your hands off trying to filter it though, but it worked well. So I did a mixture of buying bottled water and filtering. I think next time, just for waste reasons, I would commit to filtering only, so that I don't create as much bottled waste on the trail. Damn, she's empty. There we go. I also made a list of things while I was walking that I popped into my mind. Things I'm glad I had and things I wish I had. So things I'm glad I had was strapping tape. So I didn't actually have to strap my ankles or any limbs for like immobilization reasons, but the strapping tape actually kept my blister plasters on. It kept on like those little wads that I wanted to put on my ankles just for preemptive reasons. And if you had any rub spots, you could literally just put a piece of K2 tape over it and it would actually help a lot and stay in place all day under your socks. Unlike plaster, sometimes they tend to rub off. So, big fan of the strapping tape. I went through it quite a bit. Blistex or like chapstick or pawpaw. If I didn't have my stick of Blistex, my lips would have chapped off my body. Like, you're inhaling such cold air constantly, especially when you're working hard. So you're going, even when you're sleeping, you got snot all in your nose, so you're sleeping with your mouth open. So it's just constant chapped lips or dry lips. Blistex was in my hand like all of the time. My water filter, because we ended up having to use it when there was no bottled water. So I am glad that I had that as a backup. And the Sawyer mini filter doesn't really weigh anything. In terms of like fueling myself, I'm so glad I had electrolytes and spare Cliff Bars. So I took a Cliff Bar for one every day, same as electrolytes. I had electrolytes every day. I put a tab in my drink bottle usually in the afternoons, like as a little pick-me-up. I did that every day just to keep myself fueled and hydrated. And I do genuinely think it helped me a lot feel as good as I did. I'm glad that I took a universal adapter for the wall plugs, because some tea houses actually had different country plugs. I don't know what countries they were, because I just flicked out whatever was on my universal adapter. Where is it? Here. So like I just flick out the different countries. So that was really helpful actually, instead of just getting like the one that Nepal uses. Things I wish I had. I don't think this list is as long as it could be, but these are the things that came to me. So I wish that I had bought a roll of toilet paper before leaving Kathmandu to get on the local bus to start Manaslu Trek. A lot of the toilets are BYO toilet paper. There's places to put your toilet paper because you cannot put it down the drain, but most of the toilet paper is BYO. So in some of the footage you would have seen, I like just ended up having a roll of toilet paper attached to my bag. That worked really well. But yeah, I wish I would have had a lightweight neck buff, like super lightweight one, not for warmth but for dust. So for the first 3 days and then the last like half day descending the pass and then the last day as well, it does get really dusty, especially when you're following closely behind people or when packs of mules go past. Also, you're road walking for the first day and a half, and so trucks and buses and things are going past. So if it may have made me too hot, honestly, to have something around my neck, but it would have been a good option just to have something to pop up on my face when it got too dusty. Not really something I wish I had, but I probably didn't need as many batteries and power banks as I had, because I didn't realize that you can essentially charge your stuff through most of the camps. I didn't use any of my spare batteries or power banks until I got to Dharamsala, which is the night before the pass, which is night 7. Yeah, so you can charge all of your stuff. So I took 2 power banks. I had my Insta360, so I had 3 batteries for that, and I had my Canon camera as well, and I had 3 batteries for that, which I probably didn't need. Now, in terms of electronics, if you do like to take electronic things, or maybe you're also a photographer, this is my kind of little electronics bag. Feel free to skip forward if this doesn't apply to you. If you just take a few snaps in your phone and you live in the moment, totally cool. So like I just said, I took 2 power banks, probably just needed 1. I had my cords, I had my camera battery charger, which is good because I can't charge my camera off my power bank, so I did need a wall adapter at some point. I had a PLB, so I actually took this with me because I am under the impression that if you push it overseas, New Zealand Search and Rescue will get a notification and work with the country that you're in to help find you. So I took that with me. It was always in my like breast pocket on my pack that you would have seen where my pocket knife was. My wall adapter, universal adapter. We've got my Canon 5D Mark IV with a 50mm lens on it. I use this the whole time. I took my telephoto lens, my 70mm to 200mm. I used it once, and I mean, it was worth it for a banging photo of sunrise on Manaslu, but this is the only time I used it. So that is the camera. I had, like I said, I had 3 batteries for that, 3 batteries for my Insta360, which is what I film on. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about gear, please chuck it down below, as well as any questions about the hike at all. I will do my best to reply to every single comment, because I really want you guys to get out there and hike in Nepal. It was honestly on my bucket list for so long. I can't believe I'm just back in regular life. Honestly, I want to go back to the mountains, and I will get back there one day. So thank you so much for watching me unpack. I might go have a sleep. Thank you.